Hi everyone, welcome back to KG Graves. We're still over in Ireland and we're at Carnmoney East Cemetery in Antrim. And we're here today to visit the grave of the professional snooker player Alex Higgins, in my opinion the best player of all time. As usual, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. More information about Alex is coming up shortly. Alex Higgins was born Alexander Gordon Higgins on the 18th of March 1949 in Belfast, Northern Ireland, to parents Alexander and Elizabeth née Stockman. He was a professional snooker player. He had three sisters, Isabel, Anne and Jean. Alex was educated at the local Mabel Street Primary School and Kelvin Secondary School. From age 10 he began frequenting the Jam Pot, a local snooker and billiards hall, and started playing there when he was 11. After leaving school in 1964, he worked as a messenger for the Irish Linen Company, but the job was short-lived as it offered few prospects and the business was in decline. At age 15, he spotted a newspaper advert for stable boys at Eddie Reeves' stables in Wantage, Berkshire, and left Belfast hoping to follow in the footsteps of his idol Lester Piggott and become a jockey. He worked there for almost 2 years, during which time he gained too much weight to ride competitively. He left the stables for London, where he settled in a flat in Leytonstone and resumed playing snooker. He won several money matches and earned extra income at a paper mill near London Bridge, but he grew homesick and returned to Belfast in late 1967. Alex joined the snooker league at the Mount Pottinger YMCA, where he faced tougher opponents. He practiced up to 6 hours a day, studied weaknesses in the other players, and devised new shots in his game. In January 1968, he entered and won the Northern Ireland Amateur Championship, defeating Maurice Gill 4-1 in the final. He won the title at his first appearance and at age 18 was the tournament's youngest winner. 1 week later, he won the All-Ireland Amateur Championship and turned professional for a short spell before reverting to amateur status. Alex defeated world champion John Spencer in several exhibition matches where he received a start of 14 points per frame. These victories, coupled with his rising popularity, with his matches being attended by as many as several hundred people, convinced Alex to return to England and turn professional. Alex settled in Blackburn, Lancashire, as it presented more favourable opportunities for snooker. It was here where salesman Dennis Broderick and bingo tycoons Jack Leeming and John McLaughlin recognised his talents and became his agents, buying him a flat and new clothes. It was McLaughlin who originated the nickname of Hurricane for Alex, who would have preferred Alexander the Great. He applied to be a professional player, and his application was accepted by the Billiards Association and Control Council (BACC) in January 1970. The 1972 World Snooker Championship began in March 1971 and concluded in February 1972, and Alex won the title at his first attempt, defeating John Spencer 37-31 in the final. In January 1972 he defeated Jackie Ree in the final of the Irish Professional Championship, a title Ree had held since 1952. As champion, Alex earned £480 in prize money. At 22, he was the youngest ever winner of the title, a record he held until Stephen Hendry's victory at the age of 21 in 1990. He was also the first qualifier to win the world title, a feat that, as of 2025, only 3 other players, Terry Griffiths in 1979, Sean Murphy in 2005, and Zhao Sitong in 2025 have achieved. In the summer of 1972, Alex was the subject of the half-hour Thames TV documentary Hurricane Higgins. During an exhibition match in Bombay, India, an inebriated Alex was unable to play due to the high temperatures and proceeded to play shirtless. He was fined £200. In 1973, he made his debut appearance on the TV show Pot Black, but he lost his first game and stormed off the set. Ted Lowe convinced him to return and finish his other games, but friction between the two remained, and Lowe forbade Alex to appear on the show for 5 years. Alex lost his world title with a 9-23 defeat to Eddie Charlton in the semi-finals of the 1973 tournament. He blamed his loss to Charlton on having to use a new cue after his usual one had broken a few months before the tournament. At the time, the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association, WPBSA, had scheduled a meeting to hear a complaint that Alex had refused to continue in a tournament after complaining about the lighting. John Pullman, the WPBSA chairman, declared that he welcomed Higgins losing, as he had dragged the game down. By the end of 1974, Alex had started to alter his attacking style of play and add more tactical and safety elements, but his results remained inconsistent throughout the rest of the decade. Although not one of the 8 invited professionals to enter the 1977 Pontins Open, for which Lowe was an organiser, Alex was one of the 24 players from an entry of 864 to reach the stage where the invited professionals joined the draw, despite having to concede 21 points a frame to amateur players. He whitewashed Ray Reardon and Fred Davis, and then defeated Terry Griffiths 7-4 in the final, watched by an audience of around 2,000 people. In Masters of the Bays 2005, a book about world snooker champions, Luke Williams and Paul Gadsby wrote that the tournament cemented his status as the people's champion. Alex won the 1978 Masters tournament, beating Cliff Thorburn 7-5 after being 4-5 behind. He was the first player to win a second Masters title, beating Terry Griffiths 9-7 in 1981. Alex won the world title for a second and final time in 1982. In the semi-final, he trailed Jimmy White 13-15 in the best of 31 match, but took the 29th frame and then compiled a break of 69 against White in the penultimate frame. Alex had been 0-59 points behind in that frame, but managed to complete an extremely challenging clearance during which he was rarely in good position. The break is regarded as one of the best in snooker history. In the final he faced Ray Reardon, From 15-15, Alex went on to achieve victory at 18-15, clinching the match with 135 total clearance in the final frame. A tearful Alex summoned his wife and baby daughter from the audience to celebrate with him, producing images regarded as some of the most iconic in history of British televised sport. He would have been ranked number 1 in the world rankings for the 1982-83 season had he not forfeited ranking points following disciplinary action. He released a country and western styled single, 147, that year, which failed to chart. In 1986, Alex split with his manager, Del Simmons, and signed with Framework, a management group run by Howard Kruger, who also managed Jimmy White, Kirk Stevens and Tony Knowles. Later that year, the Four, with Status Quo, released a cover of The Wanderer by Dion as a counter to Snooker Loopy, a pop single featuring snooker players managed by Barry Hearn's Matchroom. At the 1986 UK Championship, Alex headbutted tournament director Paul Hatherill after an argument. He was fined £12,000 and banned from 5 tournaments, while he was also convicted of assault and criminal damage arising from the incident and was fined £250 by the court. He was fined £500 for being abusive towards tournament director Kevin Norton at the 1987 Irish Masters. By 1988, Alex had been fined a total of £17,200 in his professional career. In 1988, he was dropped by Kruger and acquired a new manager, Robin Driscoll. In January 1989, he fell out of the window from his partner's first floor flat and broke multiple bones in his ankle. He arrived at several subsequent matches on crutches and played while hopping on one leg. Later that year, Kruger's Framework Management Company was wound up by Alex's instigation, with him claiming that over £50,000 was owed to him. Clive Everton wrote after Alex's death that the money lost to Framework was a financial blow which Alex never recovered. His last professional tournament win was the 1989 Irish Masters in a 9-8 victory over Stephen Hendry in the final. At the 1990 British Open, Alex lost 8-10 in the final against Canadian player Bob Chaperon, which was his last appearance in a major final. He received a runner-up prize of £45,000, the highest of his career. After losing his first round match to Steve James at the 1990 World Championship, he remained in his seat in the arena for some time, ordering several vodka and orange drinks, slouched in the chair and twitching. Afterwards, he punched tournament official Colin Randall in the abdomen before the start of a press conference, at which he announced his retirement and abused the media as he left. This followed another incident at the 1990 World Cup, where he repeatedly argued with fellow player and compatriot Dennis Taylor, insulting his late mother and threatening to have him shot if he returned to Northern Ireland. For his conduct, Alex was banned for the rest of the season and all of the next. During his 15-month ban, he released a biography video, I'm No Angel, 1991. In 1992, Alex and his collaborators, actor Oliver Reed and the Trogs, released Wild Thing as a single. After more controversy during his career, in August 1997, Alex played what became his final match on the professional circuit with a 1-5 defeat to Neil Mosley at the Plymouth Pavilions. He became aggressive after the match and was escorted out of the venue by police. He failed to appear at his next 2 scheduled qualifying matches, saying that he had been attacked with an iron bar. He had a sprained wrist and a sprained ankle. In December 1997, he was featured in Alex Higgins' Rebel Without a Pause, which was shown in the Northern Ireland region on BBC One. The Irish Independent reviewer, Vincent Gribben, complained that the show was a 40-minute paranoid rant by Alex. After his exit from the professional game, his autobiography, From the Eyes of the Hurricane, My Story, was published in 2007. On the 8th of April 2010, Alex was part of the debut Snooker Legends Tour event in Sheffield at the Crucible, appearing alongside other retired or close to retiring professionals, including John Parrott, Jimmy White, John Virgo and Cliff Thorburn. He faced Thorburn in his match, but lost 0-2. It is estimated that he earned and spent £3 to £4 million in his career as a snooker player. Alex was a guest on A Question of Sport in 1980 and on Give Us a Clue the following year. He appeared twice on The Wogan Show and on The Weakest Link in 2009. He also took part in many pro celebrity sports, including snooker and golf. Amstrad made 2 video games based on Alex, titled Alex Higgins' World Snooker and Alex Higgins' World Pool. In his personal life, Alex was a heavy smoker, drinker, gambler, and admitted to using cocaine and marijuana. He had tempestuous relationships with women. Both his marriages ended in divorce, and he had widely publicised altercations with other girlfriends. He was known as an unpredictable, difficult, and volatile character. At the time of his 1972 triumph at the World Championship, Alex stated that he did not have a permanent address and had recently lived in a row of abandoned houses in Blackburn which were awaiting demolition. In 1 week he had moved into 5 different houses on the same street, moving down one every time his current dwelling was demolished. Alex married twice and had 4 children from 3 different relationships. In 1971 he met Joyce Fox, and they had a son, Chris, in 1975. They separated 6 months later. In 2001, Fox told her son that Alex was his father, and they reconnected in 2003. In April 1975, he married Australian Cara Hasler in Sydney. They had a daughter, Christelle, and their divorce was finalised in 1979. In January 1980, Alex married Lynn Avison in Wilmslow, Cheshire. They had a daughter, Lauren, in 1980 and a son, Jordan, in 1983. They split in 1985 and divorced. In the same year, he began a relationship with Siobhan Kidd, which ended in 1989 after he allegedly hit her with a hairdryer. In 1990, he began a relationship with former call girl Holly Hayes, a pseudonym of Laura Croucher, her real name. They split in August 1997 after Croucher stabbed Alex 3 times during a domestic argument. Alex had a long and enduring friendship with actor Oliver Reed, who appeared on This Is Your Life when Alex was a subject in 1981. He met Marianne Faithfull during the 1980s and renewed his acquaintance with her in 1992. Then they spent the night together in a Dublin hotel. In 1996, Alex was convicted of assaulting a 14-year-old boy and was given a conditional discharge. He later described the case as a farce which should not have been brought to court. In total, he was arrested 17 times. Alex reportedly smoked 80 cigarettes a day. He had an operation on cancerous growths on his palate in 1996. In June 1998, he was found to have throat cancer and had major surgery on the 13th of October. He could only talk in a whisper in his last years. In early 2010, he suffered from pneumonia and breathing problems, and on the 31st of March, he was admitted to hospital. In April 2010, Alex's friends announced that they had set up a campaign to help raise the £20,000 he needed for teeth implants to enable him to eat properly again and put on weight. Alex had lost his teeth after intensive radiotherapy used to treat his throat cancer. It was reported that since losing them, he had been living on liquid food and had become increasingly depressed, even contemplating suicide. He was too ill and frail to have the implants fitted. Despite his illness, Alex continued to smoke cigarettes and drink heavily until the end of his life. He was admitted to hospital again in May. By the summer of 2010, Alex's weight had fallen to 6.5 stone, 41 kilograms. Despite having once been worth £4 million, he was bankrupt and survived on £200 a week disability allowance. Alex was found dead in bed in his flat on the 24th of July 2010, aged 61. The cause of death was a combination of malnutrition, pneumonia, tooth decay, and a bronchial condition, although his daughter Lauren stated that he was clear from throat cancer when he died. The funeral service was held at St Anne's Cathedral, Belfast on the 2nd of August 2010. In Steve Davis's interesting My Autobiography 2015, he wrote that Alex as a player was a true genius. Ronnie O'Sullivan has called him the greatest snooker player I have ever seen. John Spencer wrote that Alex probably had the quickest snooker brain in the game. As of 2023, he was only one of 11 players to have completed the Triple Crown of winning the World Championship, UK Championship and the Masters. As a snooker fan, there is no doubt in my mind that Alex Higgins was one of the most natural snooker players who would attempt some of the most amazing shots which inevitably cost him many frames of snooker. The shots he would undertake, no one else would attempt, and when he was on form, would generally pull them off. It is a shame that he got involved with heavy drinking and drugs, which obviously made him irritable and angry, leading to his many problems during his life. He certainly lived up to his nickname, Hurricane. What a character Alex was. Let's see where his grave is located. So, there you have it, the grave of professional snooker player Alex Higgins, 2 times world champion. As usual, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Leave me a comment below if you liked Alex. Thanks for watching, see you on the next one. Rest in peace, Alex Higgins.